was always something exciting and compelling to do in this place.
When I arrived here in the Department of Justice, I suddenly had an incredible opportunity.
J'étais vraiment contente de pouvoir rentrer au sein du ministère de la Justice.
There was no case like it in the Supreme Court.
There just seemed to be a momentum to get things done. My name is Mary Dawson. I was the Associate Deputy Minister in Justice from 1988 to 2005. I turned 40 in 1982. I loved my job. I loved my family life. It was a very good decade. It was probably the most exciting decade, I think, that I spent at the department. I had started off as a legislative drafter, and I moved over to public law in '86. It was an extremely productive era. Between 80 and 86 or 7, we enacted the Access to Information Act, the Privacy Act, the Young Offenders Act, the Official Languages Act, the Canada Health Act, and those were all my drafts. During this time, I was involved in all of the constitutional files. I just seemed to be at the right place at the right time, right through my career, as a matter of fact, through the Charter, through Meech Lake, and then, of course, it led into Charlottetown. It wasn't as if it was just one government, actually. It was the Liberals were in power at the front end of the 80s, and the Conservatives were in power in the back end of the 80s, but there just seemed to be a momentum to get things done. I think there was a determination to do something about the Constitution. There was an excitement. I don't even know if we noticed it at the time, but when I look back on it, it was just so many things were accomplished. The world was ready. I mean, there were some countries that had started to look at access and privacy, and the official languages was dealt with that decade, and I really can't answer why. It just all came together.